And there they go.
Let's move on to the second leg of the late pick four sequence at Gulfstream Park on Saturday, March 19th. This is race 10, the $100,000 Silks Run Stakes. We have a field of, 10 older males in here going 5 furlongs, and they're all older males. The 3-horse Arrest Me Red is the 5-2 favorite for Wesley Ward. It's also a race that was won last year by one of my all-time favorites, Karatari. Karatari's not here, but his trainer, Brian Lynch, brings the 2 Cool Quest, who's trying turf for just the second time. There are a lot of ways you can go in here. When I was handicapping, I was like, I see like 18 different Mike Somich angles. So let me just turn it over to you while I enjoy a Guinness on St. Patty's Day.
I mean, this is going to be a toasty pace up front. There are about 6 horses that want to be up front. There's 122 time for him, 115 time for him, 108 time for him. So we've just got speed on speed on speed in this spot. That leads me to try and find the horse that I think is going to just trip out. And in this case, that is the number 9, Yes, I'm Free. Look, Yes, I'm Free it has the ability to sit real close to the speed, which I like. We've got a 106 time for him, has forward pace. So it's not like you're going to be coming from the clouds here in this race. Could sit 4th or 5th in this race because, yes, there's that much speed because the 2 wants to go, the 3 wants to go, the 5 wants to go. The 9 is going to sit right behind them here. And the 9 also loves Gulfstream Park as well. Yes, I'm Free is 6 for 16 over this turf, or 5 for 12 over this turf course, 6 for 16 at the distance. And you look at that last race, the turf sprint, where this horse just absolutely had everything fire, sat in second, a length and a half back, then was able to make the move. That's the kind of trip I'm looking for again. That was second off a layoff. Now we're coming third off a layoff. Jaramillo has had a lot of success on this horse. If you dig back to the past performances, that was actually his 4th win on Yes, I'm Free. So I love the fact that we get Jaramillo back. I think Yes, I'm Free just absolutely trips out. I'm only going to go too deep in the $5 ticket. Yes, I'm Free is one of the 2 I'm using. And I am going to use one of the other speed horses here. And it's not going to be the 3-horse Arrest Me Red. It's going to be the 2 Cool Quest. Look, this horse is faster than everyone else in this race. Just haven't seen that on turf yet, right? We went 22.45 and change. This horse has 21 and change ability. And I would be a little more hesitant. Except I think this is a pretty aggressive spot for Lynch to put this horse in, especially off that last race where he runs 100 Beyer and a career best Beyer. And then you look at that last workout, right, where we dropped the 47-1 around the dogs, 1 of 53 on that day from a work perspective. I think all systems go here for Cool Quest. I think Cool Quest is the speed of the speed. And most importantly, Cool Quest is the inside speed of the speed. So as long as he stays even with any other speed in this race, he gets to that turn first, he gets to the lane first, it's going to make it tough for anybody else. So I'm going to go too deep on the $5 ticket. I'm going to go with the 2 and the 9.
Boy, I agree. I'm with you on the 9. I like the 9 a lot, though. I went 3 deep, and the 9 is the only one that didn't make my $5 ticket, but it was close. Jaramillo, 7 mounts, 4 wins, 2 seconds. And lost this race last year, completely blew the start. That really hasn't been an issue before or since for the horse. So any concern about that is got to be gone here. I couldn't go with the 2 because there's just so much speed, and I don't know what he's going to do on turf against stakes horses in this spot. He very well could run away with it, and if that happens, congratulations to you and anybody who's with him for sticking with him. I can't do that in this spot. My top pick is going to be the 3, Arrest Me Red. Pretty boring, but since he switched over to Wesley Ward last year, 3 for 3. Although you could possibly argue he's most vulnerable here off the layoff because his worst effort for Ward last year was off of the layoff as well. Not a concern for me that much because you see that 47-2 at Payson Park. It wasn't around the dogs, so a little bit of a Cool Quest gets a little bit of an edge there, but it was still 47-2, best of 16 that day. So I'm going to use him here. I also like the fact that when he was with Arnaud Delacour as a 2-year-old, he won the Atlantic Beach Stakes going 6 furlongs at Aqueduct by sitting off the pace and pouncing. So if Cool Quest goes, that's okay. Irad Ortiz Jr.'s let him go, and Irad knows how to win on him anyways. I'm going to go with him on top. You didn't use him. Why?
Look, I think Arrest Me Red is the same as 4 other horses in this race, and I'm getting the worst price on him. And to me, that is the biggest issue here, right? It's like I have him in the 4th slot, but I'm only going 3 deep because look, I kind of chalked out early, right? My single is not creative in the next leg, so not gonna add a ton of value there.
Right.
And you look at this race, and it's wide open, and the 5-2 shot's going to get bet down from that. I mean, he's going off at 9-5 or 8-5. I don't think he's the fastest horse in the race. I'm not sure he's never come from behind against this caliber of turf horses. I mean, Fauci and Chewing Gum, 2 back was the one time, or 3 back, 2 back was the one time he came from off the pace. But I don't think that much of Fauci. I don't think Fauci would be a favorite in this race.
Right.
So if I'm taking that angle and I'm saying, look, I don't have a creative single in the next leg, and I'm using what is probably going to be the chalkier horses in the first leg, I've got to create value in the ticket somewhere. And to me, Cool Quest is Arrest Me Red, is Chessmaster. Like, they're all kind of the same horse. I feel like Cool Quest has the most upside because we don't know how good he can be on the turf. Whereas Arrest Me Red, I don't see him taking a huge step forward here.
That's fair. I will counter that he really doesn't need to. He just keeps hitting 100 plus buyers each time he runs a step forward. That at least that 100 from the Belmont Turf Sprint. So
he is one.
Sorry. You know what I did is I fast forwarded to a completely different horse. Sorry. I saw that happen in real time too. So we disagree on the 3 there. Did you really just go? No, you went 3 deep. So go ahead and talk about the last one that you're using here.
Well, I talked about the amount of pace that we have in here, right? Where you've got Chessmaster, who is going to very much be forwardly placed, went 21-3, 44-2 last time out. You've got Warriors Pride, the 4 horse, 21-1, 43-4 last time out. You've got Arrest Me Red, who likes to be forwardly placed. You got Cool Quest, who has shown speed in almost every single start. Even the inside, High Crime has some speed there. The 106 early time for him. You got to look at horses coming from off the pace here, and that's where I got to the 10 horse Old Chestnut, who I think is probably your best dead closer in the race. I think Yes I'm Free has the ability to sit behind horses and win, but is not a dead closer. He's going to be closer to this pace. Old Chestnut, he's going to try and come from the clouds. You get size aboard. This is a Mark Casse horse, first time out as a 5-year-old. And what I really like is, like, when you dig back into like his 3-year-old season, you have the quick call at Saratoga where the horse ran well, ran an 84 buyer, then comes off the layoff first time as a 4-year-old, runs an 89 buyer here at Gulfstream and just misses by a neck to Yes I'm Free. You have the races that have the talent in here. We need to pop off this layoff. We need to take a step forward because right now this horse is not good enough to beat the rest of this field. But I do think we have the race shape that you need for Old Chestnut because of all of this speed. We're going 5.5, not 5. Makes a big difference at Gulfstream Park. And I'm sorry, we're going 5. So he'll have to come like flying late. But you got that cooked pace early that hopefully will set him up. And you just have to hope that like Saez gets him going early enough to be able to run down the speed and that they run 23-43 and come back a little bit. And if they do, I think the 10 horse Old Chestnut has a legit shot in here.
Way too short for him. Way too short for him. The 2 wins he had were as a 2-year-old at Woodbine, where the stretch is as long as, it's long. We'll just leave it at that. He's not going to get that at Gulfstream. I think this is just a starting spot for him. I don't love that Saez is a board because we all know that Mark Casse's got 2 boys that he loves to ride with his horses with at Gulfstream, and it's Tyler Gaffalione and it's Edwin Gonzalez. I don't know where Gonzalez is. He might be off or might be injured, but Gaffalione is riding a horse we haven't seen since September. A horse that he's never ridden for a barn he's ridden for exactly 1 time in the last 1.5 years. So all of that to say, I agree with you that maybe you want a horse coming from off the pace. That's not the one I want. I actually don't think I want a horse coming from too far back in this spot.
So counterpoint, he's won twice at 5 furlongs, and he also just missed first off the layoff at 4 at 5 furlongs. So he has 3 credible races at 5 furlongs, 2 wins and a neck beat by Yes I'm Free, who's my top pick.
The next time that you shit on somebody about Woodbine, I'm going to come back to this when he got 2 credible wins, which, by the way, were not off the pace. They were setting the pace.
Well, but they were still at 5 furlongs, which you said is too short for him.
As a 2-year, yeah. Let's just get out of here because this is you've already lost this one. The 6 Belgrano is going to be my pick here as a long shot bomb. First of all, huge jockey upgrade. We're getting Jose Ortiz, who's sneakily 3 for 9 for a barn that hits at 31%. With turf sprints. I watched that race last time out, got moving way too late. If Jose can keep him closer to the pace, if you look when he was winning 3 straight turf sprints at Monmouth at Laurel, not the same class necessarily as Gulfstream. Those are usually like the Gulfstream horses that aren't good for New York. That's where they go in the summertime. But he did win the stakes at Monmouth Park going 5.5. I really think that, again, with Jose Ortiz being in the saddle, this is the difference maker. So on my $5 ticket, I'm actually going 3.6 and then 50 cent 3.69.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. I think that's another one of the logical off the pace horses. I think if you're using a horse like the 9, you got to use. If you're using the 6, you got to use the 9, which you're doing. So I think that makes sense. I mean, this is another one where I think you've got to get an improbable improvement, and that's my main reason I left the 6 off. Is that you need to step forward 10%, and I don't know any reason why the 6 would step forward 10%. But your angle on the 6 is probably similar to mine on the 10. This shit collapses and someone picks up the pieces. Like that's how the 6 wins this race. That's how the 10 wins this race. And I think
you and I kind of each picked a speed horse that we really like, and then an off the pace longer shot that we really like. So let's just kind of quickly go through this, Mike. Some of those I did mention that Tyler Gaffalione is riding the one high crime. He's a first time gelding, but we haven't seen him since September. It's a barn that doesn't usually do great off the layoffs. Again, Tyler never rides for this, so an odd spot for him. I had zero interest in using him anywhere on a ticket, like even in exotics. Did you?
I couldn't get there. My main problem with the one is just not fast enough. All of the one's best efforts have come on the lead. I don't see how the one makes the lead in this field, and that to me is a problem for high crime.
It's just crazy to me that a year ago in the Gulfstream Turf Sprint Stakes, the Grade 3, he was a neck away from being Leinster. And then what happened after that? It just kind of completely fell apart for him. So, yeah.
He was fortunate enough to make the lead that day. Right?
Yeah.
And we haven't seen him make the lead again until he went 5.5 at Ellis Park. But he had to go 21-1, 43-2 to do that and just stopped.
Yeah. And it's with Cool Quest, the 2-horse to his outside there. It's probably not going to be more of the same. The 4 Warriors Pride. I thought Mark earlier was saying that he liked the 4 in this race a lot. We didn't use this horse. Having second off the layoff, Junior Alvarado going to keep riding, but set the pace and weaken in the Gulfstream Turf Sprint. More of the same here.
Look, if you're going to get crazy, this is the horse I would get crazy with, which sounds odd because we just talked about how much speed's in here.
Yeah.
This could be your speed of the speed. And sometimes in these races where who's the fastest horse, that horse wins in these spots every now and then. And if you look at this is the second off the layoff as a 4-year-old. That's a logical improvement. We came back in a graded stakes. That's a good sign for how the horse is doing. This horse has had success over this track, 2 for 4, 2 for 4 at the distance, and just ran a 45-4 furlong work. So 45-4, pretty darn fast. There are worse 15-1 shots you could use.
I missed that 45-4, best of 116 too. So a decent enough sample size. I think you could go with the.
If you bullet in 45, or if you go 45-4 and you aren't the best that day, there's something wrong. We got issues.
Or you're at Los Al, and it's Bob Baffert workout day. The 5 Chessmaster, I thought you might use maybe if the price was better, because you do like it when there's a trainer that also owns the horse and is very specific about where they send the horses, and you can see Kerry Raven doing that here. The horse was last off for me, because of the price, but the horse won 4 straight on turf. But a big question, who did he beat? Where did he do it? That's why I ended up leaving him off.
Yeah, I love Tampa to Gulfstream as an angle. I love Gulfstream to Tampa as an angle. I hate Tampa to Gulfstream. So that definitely hurt my opinion here of Chessmaster. And additionally, we've taken this shot once before. We went from Tampa, we went to Keeneland, we went to the Shakerton. We couldn't get the lead there. We were 64-1 that day. And we ended up finishing 11th. I like that. I think a very similar story plays out here. You're facing better than you were. You can't get the lead. You end up.
7 Omaha City and the 8 Hello Hot Rod, both co-longest shots at 30-1. And based off of the odds in their previous 3 races, each of those horses probably a lot more than 30-1. Any interest in either of these?
Not even a little.
I feel like if this was Omaha City from a year ago at this time, not even then, because at that time they'll look at those buyers. Sorry, I saw the 85 and I was like, well, maybe that was when he was 3 and improving. Nah, that was the summertime.
That would be a shocker.
Total shocker there. But anyways, Mike and I, we definitely like the 9-horse a lot. So if you're looking to go shallow in this spot, yes, I Am Free is the way to go.
This has been a presentation of RacingDudes.com, your destination for all things horse racing and sports betting. Whether you want free winners, expert insider picks, up-to-the-minute trackside weather reports, or podcasts and videos for bettors of all skill levels, never make another wager without visiting the Racing Dudes. First,